we are in the second round, which is focusing on institutional responses to the problems identified in the first round, if I can make that distinction. Javed, back to you. You also have a political career behind you, maybe also in front of you. You've been a senator in the parliament of Pakistan, minister in 3 cabinets of the government. There's a formal mechanism, regional mechanism, the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, with 8 nations. I will mention them, but from Afghanistan, the Maldives, including India, Pakistan, of course. How does this cooperation functions on environmental security? Is it just Pakistan, India, or are the other countries also? I mean, the Maldives talk about environmental security. You know, Maldives are a case in point.
Yes.
You have to be a little bit brief.
Yes.
But that's Fritz is saying that.
Thank you.
For me, you can talk forever.
Thank you for reducing the inequity with Pakistan. That's all right. Wouter, you see, you've got to look at the asymmetrical aspect of South Asia from another perspective, in the sense that in any region of the world, if the 2 largest countries do not have a stable relationship, it is bound to destabilize the whole region. And this is the classic outcome of the historical Pakistan-India problem, that because these 2 large nations of South Asia are unable to establish lasting peace, we can neither cooperate truly on the ecological issues or on economic issues, leave alone military issues. And to make matters worse, I deeply regret to say that a non-regional power has now added to the asymmetry. We already had physical or state asymmetry. We now have nuclear asymmetry because of the way the United States has awarded India for not signing the Non-Proliferation Treaty. So we have a prospect ahead of very volatile, uncertain times. And it's really pitiable and funny that America loses so much steam about Iran. It elevates India to a completely new status, so-called elevation. But it has very grim prospects for stability in South Asia. That said, one cannot but be struck by the remarkable insecurity of large states. It is not the small states that seem to suffer from insecurity. It's whether the United States or whether it's India, these are the ones who seem to suffer from insecurity. But again, out of South Asia, you've got to remember that India has the distinction of being the only state with maritime or land borders with 7 of the neighboring countries. It is the only state. And therefore, the onus, and I'm not shifting the blame or passing the buck from Pakistan, the onus for creating a stable South Asia in an ecological perspective rests with the largest state. And remember, it's going to get larger. India is at the moment the 2nd largest populated country of the world. Pakistan has the honor of being the 7th largest. But the good news is that both of us are going to be promoted. India will overtake China over the next 20 years to become the largest state, and Pakistan will go from number 7 to number 4, just behind the United States, China, and India. So we are looking at how population is also going to impact on our ability to cope with whether it's water, on the one hand, the most scarce resource, or the ability to manage with distorted demographics, where even if you have abundant or adequate water, a imbalanced concentration of populations in certain cities or urban centers erodes our capacity to be equitable with ecological issues and resources.
Thanks very much, Javed.
But I remain optimistic.
Well, that was I was saying what remains of your first round after these remarks. But the challenges are growing, so maybe hope is growing as well. Well, a lot of stuff, maybe when we talk informally, we can continue some of your very, challenging remarks. But thanks very much for that.